It says we're streaming. Let me check out Twitch to make sure that we actually are streaming. It says I'm currently offline, but I think it's getting ready to update maybe. Who knows? There we go. Okay, so hello everyone. It is October 30th, and this is the October 30th dev stream for TextQuest. It is Friday, so Friday is sort of a more loose feel. We don't have a particular area we're going to focus on. And it's also, a fun day to just do whatever we want. So I've been talking the past week about sort of this cutscene style thing that I want to do whenever the player enters this throne room. Because I want a wizard to show up and then do stuff. But to actually capture the mechanics of that, I thought it would be nice to take a look at sort of the inspiration for the style of cutscene I'm going for, which is the original Half-Life game. And I'm sure that most of you have played this. Am I streaming still, or did it freeze? Or was I just sort of... Sorry, I got a little distracted by the Twitch stream to my left. So, anyway. So I'm sure that most of you have played Half-Life, and it's not going to be a new thing for you. But for those of you who haven't, this will be a little interesting thing. And for those of you who already have, it's a good chance to see an old game that I'm sure you liked. So I'm going to boot up Steam. I'm going to pull up Half-Life. And I just went through I've already gone through the initial area of having to wait for the rail to go through here, which is like 5 minutes long. But we're going to take a look at
Mr. Freeman. Looks like you're running late.
We're going to take a look at the initial Cascade Resonance sequence. And get a little bit of, Half-Life gameplay. I would have skipped ahead a little bit more, but I did this right before the stream, and I was going to be super late if I didn't stop it where I was to actually start streaming. So... But yeah, this is Half-Life. Which I don't know how much of my voice is getting drained out by the sound effects. Oh, wait. Hold on. I'm looking at my dev stream right now, and it looks like it's not showing the actual video. Which I think is a problem I've had before. So hold on, let me save this. Let me quit. Right, because it doesn't actually want to... Right. So I think... I guess I can't show you guys the original Half-Life. Yeah! Looking at my stream now. Now you can see my desktop, but I guess the original Half-Life has some bizarre way of running itself. Well, that's kind of a shame. Then I suppose we could still do something to solve that. Let's see if I can find the cutscene real quick on YouTube. That's kind of a shame. I wonder why it does that. It must have something to do with how it... Half-Life Cascade. Let's see if that... Here we go. This also lets me, I guess, talk over it.
Over here.
And watch wonderful ads, I suppose. Yeah, I wonder if that's just because of the way that it renders itself. Most games render sort of over your screen, but I guess Half-Life must do something weird since it's so old. Well, in any case, it lets me skip a little bit ahead. So, I guess I'm not going to explain what's going on necessarily, because that's not as important as what it actually is. One of the things that made Half-Life unique was that it had cutscenes without having cutscenes. So areas like this where you would have story or narrative explanation going on. So if I unmute this, turn it down so I can talk over it. You can hear them actually talking in the background, saying like what's happening and everything that you're doing. And for all intents and purposes, this is a cutscene, but it's not taking control away from the player. You can see that they can look around, they can turn on their flashlight, they can do whatever they want. They don't have to just stand there. They are because they want to, but they don't have to. And this is sort of what I'm wanting to do with any sort of cutscene type thing that I do in Text Quest. I don't want to just have, stop the player from moving and make them have to watch this thing. I want players to actually be able to move around and do whatever they want, which means that my cutscenes have to be designed in such a way that they can play out, and regardless of whether or not the player is looking at them or where I would expect them to be, I want it to be possible for the player to observe everything. So we'll skip ahead a little bit to about... So this is after the Cascade Resonance actually occurs. But you can see all these explosions going on, and it's still not taking control away from the player. It's the player could run around, sprint, or just stand there and look at the resonance incident, and then we get a little bit of teleporting going on here. At which point I'll probably skip ahead because we get a lot of random teleportation. Skip ahead. And this is after the fact where everything's open. So, shame that we couldn't do that in real time. I guess the original Half-Life is dumb. Go figure. Close that. So that's kind of the style of cutscene that I would like to try and achieve. That free roam while it's playing. But tonight we're going to be doing some different things. We're not going to be doing the cutscene just yet. We'll probably end up doing that next week. But for tonight, I want to show you guys a couple of things that I've done. We'll probably texture some doors, which sounds incredibly boring when I say it like that. But we'll probably texture these two doors and get them hooked up properly. And also, I'm going to go ahead and show you this. So you were with us last time, or I guess Tuesday. No, not Tuesday. No, it was yesterday. Yesterday we got this door to open up, so we can say open. Bam. It's got that audio cue. Control Shift P and then move myself. Oops. Wrong thing to move. There we go. Move that up. We can sprint around here. Get this to open up. And of course I forgot that I need to open this up. Set this up ahead of time, but it's Friday. It's going to be a short stream tonight, I think. Move this up manually. It's going to be a short stream just because I'm feeling kind of ugh. And it's Friday. You guys have better things to do, I suppose, than sit there and watch me do stuff. I have changed the secret passage a little bit. One, I got all of the materials swapped out for a nice substance material. Two, although I do still need to redo this substance material. Stairs are fine, although I think I need to look at how my normals are. But anyway, I've actually made this go deeper because, and there's a hole there that I need to fix. But this way, when we make this transition, you can see that it goes a very far. Interesting. Argument exception. That's curious. The attribute local name cannot be empty. Interesting. I got a null reference there that I haven't gotten before. Well, anyway, the point of me showing you that was that I redid some of the level design to make it a little bit more. Oops, didn't want to grab that. Oh, I can't do this. To make it a little bit more immersive, and yeah, we need to fix that hole. That hole should not be there. This like bizarre hole right here doesn't actually exist in the model. It's there in the mesh, but for some reason it doesn't show up here, and I don't know why that is. I'm guessing I have a couple of theories, but nothing concrete. Anyway, um, so that's the current state of things. I textured all of that, set up collisions and everything, so you can see the nice. It's not total mesh collision; it's more like a solid ramp to make things a little bit nicer. We don't have to worry about it having that awkward stutter when you're going up and down. Gotta keep my eye on chat. So tonight we'll probably end up texturing, well, remaking these doors because those doors were meant for an older model. They're a little out of size now. So for that, we actually want to be in Maya, which of course I haven't opened yet, so it's going to take a few seconds. Although while that's opening up, I finally have my the system I was talking about for implementing data. So before I would have to type in a string whenever I wanted to set something like a save variable for a door state. So now, if I look at my triggers, let's say, so if I look at my music trigger, which is just the trigger that when the player walks into this, it'll play a song. You can see I have type, which is used to determine when it should activate when you're entering the trigger, when you're exiting the trigger, while you're inside the trigger. But then I also have this data ID drop down. And what's nice about this is that I can just basically pull all of these values in from a CSV, and then once they're in, I can just use this drop down. Even though they're strings, technically, it's actually using a drop down. And that makes it really, really easy and nice to select data variables. So if I, let me find it. I think it's under data IDs, castle. So this is what it does. We have a scriptable object, which is just a collection. And this has all of my IDs in it, essentially. And that's all parsed from just this nice CSV. And that just means that I can create these data IDs on Google Drive and then import them into the actual game. So I don't have to manually set up each individual ID ahead of time. I can just do it once, then update it later if I want. So same thing for the throne trigger. Basically all text quest triggers will have this data ID, and it will set that to be true. Assuming that I want it to be set to be true. So, okay, I think Maya's open. Let's do file, recent files, Castle Throne Room. Nice. And you can see what I was talking about with the... Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I figured that something like this was the case. You'll see at the top left of my screen, I actually have... Oh, I gotta move things around. Hold on, my outliner's in front of my chat window again. So I keep stats related to my model at the top left of my viewport. So you can see when I click on an object, it says that I have one polygon selected and 2 triangles. That's correct because a quad, which is just an object with 4 sides, a polygon with 4 sides, is actually 2 triangles. But when I click on this one, I get 3 triangles, which means that I have 3 separate triangles being rendered here for this one quad, which means that there's probably some vertices that are stacked up. So if I go to vertex, if I select that, yep, boom, right there. That's exactly what I was expecting. So what I need to do is shift, merge vertices. I think I can just do merge vertices. And then that might solve my problem, actually. That might have just fixed it. Yep, right there. Okay, good. Don't have to worry about it now. So when if I export this model, which I will after we're done with what we're doing, and re-import it, that wall won't be gone anymore. It'll all be nice and taken care of. So that's nice. So for now, let's turn off passage layer and turn on... Well, actually, I don't need to turn anything on, but I will drag my castle quarters door out. Where are you? What the heck? Whoa. Oh, sorry. That's why, because it's like, where is it? It's because it wasn't fully done yet. So this one we still have our animations already set up. All we have to do now is actually texture it. So, real quick, let me see how tall this is. This is 0.16 or 1.625. Negative 1.625. So we're looking at 3.25 height by 3.25 height by 2. So 2 by 3.25. Hooray! So, this is going to be interesting. First off, I'm actually going to go ahead and say turn on my throne hall layer. Not the layer, the hall. I want throne room layer. And then I'm going to grab my quarters door. We're going to move this to make sure that it's correctly sized to the wall that it's in. So I put this here. Put that. Yeah, okay, that's correctly sized. Good. So now what we actually want to do is we want to texture it. So we're going to open up Illustrator, and we're going to navigate to a bunch of places, like we always do. Development, Unity, TextQuest, Art, Textures. Before that, we're going to go ahead and do this. Go back to Art, Models, Demo, Castle. That's all fine. Then Environment, Intro, Castle. And then all this fun stuff. Art, Substance, Environment, Castle, Throne Room, New. This last one is the actual build. TextQuest, Build, TextQuest, Assets, TextQuest, Substance, Castle, Throne Room. Okay, so now we can begin our long process. Let's do that. Let me pull up my actual one. And I am currently... Do I have it on here? I should. Excuse me. Interesting. It's not actually on here. Okay, what did I call this? Door. Castle bedroom door. Which... What does it use? Oi, of course. Let me just drag this into the scene. It uses a castle door, which uses castle door. Sorry, I have to figure out what the name of my texture is for me to accurately grab it. So the fact that it's not in here... Excuse me. I am very tired. Castle for castle door. Oh, right there. It's just the same color. Of course it is. Alright. Castle door. And now I can drag this right there. Boom. And boom. Nice. Drag this back over here. That way you guys can see what I'm doing. Castle door. And of course we have our base. If I can grab it. Base. That's going to have a background. And then text. Alright. So, now, we get the fun part. Select background. Let's lock our bottom layer here. Select background. Get the background color from the original. And then, boom. Bam. Done. Well, not BG. That one's done. Next, we have to actually grab this color. Select this. Grab this color. And then we're going to do this. 65. Ah, it's going to make it super hard. Okay. We want it to be 64. There. Because I like to have increments of 2. 64. Oops. Great. Of course, it was slightly too low. 64. Okay. There we go. 64. Then 64. Finally, it's going to be 128. Of course, it's not going to snap to that. So I have to manually put it in there. Nice. So there's our background. Unlock that. Let's minimize this and then put it right back. So now we can do our text. Select this. Let's do our eyedropper, get this color. Go to T. Gotta change our font, of course. Back to Commodore 64. 72 at the very least is what this is going to be. Really? It's slightly less than that then, huh? Interesting. Let's get my color. Get my type. It is going to be 60. And this is going to go down to 60 as well. Let me see if that's correct. Yes, it's definitely 60. Which means this is probably 48. Yep, 48. Okay. If I change this to 50. Trying to match this up properly. I think what I did is probably 48 for everything. And then for each S, I probably did like 60. Yep. Sometimes it's weird how I do this stuff, but trust me, there's always a system. Bam. Cool. Now I can move this. And gold. T, not Y. And it still went to black. Of course, we got top. Go ahead and get this. It is going to be 48, no, 60, but with EA of negative 100, I'm assuming. Yep. Isn't that nice? Let's hit I, select it again. Cool. And then, of course, the last thing we need is I refuse to type without getting that color. Bottom. Nice. Drag that right there. Cool. So, we can group these as sides. Drag these into sides and then lock it. Bam. Oh, and also, before we lock it, let's select it. Change this from sharp to none. Nice. Alright. So next, gotta go up. Coving, which is a fancy word that means trim, by the way, for those who don't know what coving is. I know I didn't. Also, there's a train. Castle door, which I don't have. Yes, good, I don't. So now, we'll go ahead and do... Bam. Bing. I can never win. Never wants to just let me have it. And, let's see. 75. It's a bit tough. No. 50. Nope. 25. No way. The full 100, huh? Yeah. Look at that. Okay. So now... Ah, why does it always default to black? Why does it do that? It's very annoying. Okay. Let's get that. Let's go all the way to 48. Yes. And that's because the C's probably have 60. Yep. Same exact thing. 60. Cool. Let's copy this. Select. Lock one of these layers down. Bam. And then, of course, let's just go ahead and duplicate this one. Oh, nope, wrong thing. Lock the old one. Move this down here. Nice. And now, I can uncheck all that. Duplicate selection. And say... After I lock it, of course. Let's move all of this. And what did I miss? How on earth? What? Hold on. Oy. And for some reason, of course, this just didn't want to move. So, let's minimize that. Let's lock our coving layer. Get rid of it. All that's left now is our actual door. Ugh, man. I am drained. I'm also not sure what is the best time to stream on Friday nights, if at all. Because, I mean, it's Friday night. Not sure what people's schedules are going to be like. So let's select this. Let's go to door. Door. Okay. Select it. Let's change its color. Back to V here. And let's say -50, I'm guessing. No. 75. Really? A full -100, huh? I can dig that. Okay. So now, select this. We gotta change our height, I think. 48 from the looks of it. Yep. And then we got to change this, of course, to be... interesting. I wonder if I can. Oh, good, I can. So I changed one of the O's in door to be yellow because it's the doorknob. Which is just, a nice way to have fun with textures. I try to do that with most doors where one letter is the doorknob or door handle or something. So that's that. Now if we copy this, select it, lock the old layer, move this one over. Sweet. Select this, change its color to be the same. Then go back to text object, select this, change its color to be that. Bam! Got our brand new fancy texture in Illustrator. Undo that. Let's undo all of this. Put the text back on, put the background back on, and bam! Looks nice. Looks pretty good. So now we can actually, well, hold on. Save that. Turn off the linked file. So there's our base color. Now we got to do our actual other maps. So let's copy this, duplicate base. We're going to change this to normal. Uncheck it. Turn off the old one. How do we want to do this? So, I'm guessing that all of the text... Oh dear. No, this is fine. All of the text should be black. Why did that do white? I wanted black. Should be black. Except for the doorknobs, of course. Which are right here. We're going to change that color to be white. Okay there. That color. Come on, work with me, yeah? To be white. And that's just because we want the doorknob to bump out while everything else, since it's wood, is going to bump in. So let's go to our Coving copy. Oh, well, that's actually fine. Yeah, everything over there is fine. So now we can actually do that. Let's go to our backgrounds. Our background color itself should probably be, let's go to 50%. Okay. While our 4 paths should be 75. Bam. It's nice, right? That way the coving is raised up a little bit, the door is in, or all of the text is indented, and the doorknobs are pulled out as well. So there's our normal map. Rather like that. Get rid of the word copy here. Lock that layer. Cool. That is beautiful. Next is our map, I guess, or our masks. And our mask is going to be super simple, I think. In the sense that it's... Well, let me duplicate this. So here's what I think my mask is going to be. Because it's basically just going to be a wood metal mask. And that means that there's not a lot of things that are going to change. We can basically get rid of this. Delete those. Change our path to be solid black. And that's basically it. We can get rid of coving and sides copy because those are all black as well. The only thing that matters is those 2 O's, basically. So we can get rid of these. And then that's our mask. Nice. So let's go ahead and delete our original file. No need for it. going to save this. Okay, so our file is ready for export into Substance. So we'll do Control-Shift-S, Castle Door, change it to an SVG. Hit save. Let's convert to outline for text because that's what's needed. Oops, I already screwed up. Go figure. I got to make sure that I delete the any layers that are above the layer I want whenever I export to SVG, because even if a layer is disabled, it is still picked up in Substance, which can affect color. So let's go to Open Recent Files, castledoor.ai. We can close all of these. Let's get rid of mask and base. Delete. Control-Shift-S, SVG, and then castledoor_normal. Sweet. Recent files, Castle Door AI, delete normal and base, turn this on, SVG, and just control, or Castle Door mask. Bam! And we're done with that. So now I can open up Substance. Super glad that I'm getting more use out of Substance. Because it's a really cool tool. I just it can be a bit of an uphill battle to start using it and learn it. We're going to do New Substance. Or was it Castle Door is what it used to be. We'll just keep that, Castle Door. Physically based, metallic roughness, that's what we want. Nice. Of course, 3.3.2. I'll get that later. Let's link vector graphics. And right there, Castle Door mask and normal. Get all of these, drag them into here, and then drag them to their separate places. Make that a grayscale value, make this a grayscale value, and then just make this connect. Bam. Bam! There's our color. Go ahead and move him way up here because that's where he always goes. Let's add a normal node. This is going to be OpenGL. Another normal. Make sure it's OpenGL. And then, of course, normal map, normal combine. Bam. Bam. There's our door. Put that in there. Looks pretty nice. Pretty nice. We can now go up to here. Move this down here. This down there. Make sure it's a little more organized. Alright. So now, let's go ahead and say, add a node, a blend node. And then let's go to noises. Let's go to wood fibers. Grab that, put that right there. Bam, it's everywhere except for the O's, which is what we want. Nice. Add some nice new details. Our door is flat there, which is what we wanted. Well, flat-ish. It's not being indented, which is the important part. And it's smooth. So let's move this to here. We'll move this down and to the we'll move it to the left. And one more. Okay. So we can highlight this stuff, add a frame, move it up one, move it over one. Call this normal. Or normal, sorry. That's all fine. Right click, add frame, move it up and over. Call it color, make it green, 130, and then add frame, move it up and over one, and it is masks, and it's red, 130. Nice. So now we got to add a blend. I'm also going to save this real quick so I don't lose anything. Castle Door, that's good. I'm going to do a blend node, add node, uniform color, make it a grayscale. Attach that to the top there. Set it to be white. Add node. Uniform color. Set it to be grayscale. Add that. Bam! And actually, this should be white. And this should be 25. Or actually probably closer to, what is it, 255 is the total. So we'll do 200. Yeah, that's good. So we get those two O's. Everything's rough, except for the slight smoothness on the door handles. So let's dock these two things. And then we'll just add another node, which is a blend. Put this in here. Add node. Another uniform color. Make it grayscale. Bam. Node. Another uniform color. Make it grayscale. Bam. And hook that into metallic. Let's make our metallic piece 25. Slightly metallic. Let's hit D and D. Select all of this. Add frame. Move it up one and over one. Rough. And rough is purple, if I remember correctly. Let's add a frame to this. Call it metallic. And then change it to cyan. Ta-da! Alright, so now all I got to do is expose parameters. So let's expose this to knob rough, which, don't that just sound like some sort of sex position? New, base rough, new, expose, knob metallic, then expose base metallic. Cool. So now we go back to our substance. We can save it for one, but also label it as castle door. Author is, of course, me, if I could spell. Alright, got all this stuff. Knob rough, make it a slider. 0.75. And the reason I do it as a slider is because that way in Unity it's a lot easier. It's just between a value of 0 and 1. You can set it to be a color, a grayscale color, but that's way more confusing, I feel. So it's easier to use a slider. So base rough, because this is what it is by default. It's a sort of color gradient, but a slider makes more sense. It's a simple number that makes it easier to understand. Knob metallic slider, then base metallic and slider. Where did I set this? So this should be, we'll try 0.25 off the bat just to see what it looks like. Okay, so now we can save, publish it, castledoor.spsar, output size and all of that is good. And then for proper purposes, set this to be times 4. Save this out as a PNG. Yep, we're going to replace the old one. And then let's go ahead and change this back to 0. Save. Nice. So now, we go to Maya. After all those steps, turn off the throne layer. Let's go ahead and select quarters door. We're going to delete history on this thing. Nice. Now let's go to Windows, Material Texture Baking, Hypershade. Hypershade is just a window for materials. So we're going to make a new material. Create materials, Phong. Castle door matte. Let's get a texture. What is the texture going to be? Castle door.png, which is going to be castle door. Oops, crap. Text. Nice. Let's close this now. And let's just say quarters door. Assign existing material. Castle door mat. Boom! It's already on there and pretty well laid out. Go figure. Let's go to object mode. Let's go to face. So that's on the left, and we want. Oh man, it's like slightly too wide. That makes me makes me really sad. So we're gonna have to scale this in just a smidge. Move it over. Okay. Same with this. Scale it just a smidge. And move it over to this one. Because it's the right door. And then, of course, do face. Let's rotate it. It's going to have to be scaled in a little bit. Scale it to the left. Right about there. Nice. Let's get this. Rotate it. Move it all the way over to the left here. And then let's scale it in. Boom. That part's set up. Now, we can just move this to right there. Just move that to right there. And of course. This to right about there. This to right about there. Nice. Now we gotta get the top. Let's rotate that. Move it up. This is a little sort of extra work because no one's ever going to be able to see these. But it's better to have these in position in case someone ever does than just not have anything there at all. So top, top. Now we got to do bottom. Let's rotate this. Rotate both of these. Move it down to bottom. And then let's go ahead and rotate it to here. Then do a very tiny scale in. And right there. And then let's move this down very slightly. And I think we could even scale it in just a little bit more. And then bam! We have our texture. So if we scrub, side door, that open up properly. Side, side, side. Top, top, top. Nice. So now this file is ready for export. So let's go ahead and select our quarters door. Edit. Delete history because we don't need anything else on it. Let me make sure real quick that the UV sets are existent. Yes, they are. So now I can just say File, Export, Selection, and it is is the castle door, which does not exist here. Oh, look at that, it doesn't exist here. Castle door. Export selection. Okay. So first off, let's get castle door, SPSAR, in here. Drag it in here. That's nice. So there's our substances. Now we gotta go to models, levels, intro, and then let's go ahead and say, do I have door in there? Nope. New folder. Castle door. And right here. Let's go back here. It's going to import everything real quick. Intro, castle door. Okay, so now, of course, we want to do closed as our first take. Start end time 2. We'll hit apply. Let's add a new one called opening. Start at 2, end at 30. Hit apply. Add a new one, call it open. Start at 30, go to 31, hit apply. And then, of course, the last one, which is closing, which starts at 31 and ends at 60. Hit apply. All right. All that fancy stuff. And of course, we got to load up by 200 because I was stupid when I made this level. So, now, if we go to castle bedroom door, which is not even... Did I call it that then? I'm just curious if I called it like castle bedroom door. So I did have a castle bedroom door, and I just... whatever. Anyway. So, I'm going to go ahead and save this, make sure that I don't have anything else to do. I'm going to minimize it. And now, I'm going to drag this in here. Hit F to select it. It's looking pretty good, looking pretty good. So if I drag this up, oh dear, right about there. 4.25, I'm guessing. Okay, that's good. So, let's go to Alt-Shift-N to make a game object below it. Call it castle door. Let's move it above it. Put the castle door in there. Rename this model. Rotate this 90 degrees. Turn it off so I can select this one. Turn this off. Turn this back on. Nice. Add component. Make it a door. Add component. Module. So this is going to be an animation module and a model module. Animator goes right there. And then we need to add, let's see, collision module, add, and physics, which will be box colliders. Bam. Super simple, right? Let's move box collider up. That's fine. Okay, that's nice. Nice. Change this to interactive layer. Yes, change to children. And boom, just like that, it's ready to go. It needs to have all the data and stuff set up for its interactions, but that's the door. Although, almost forgot, I need to set up an animator for it. So I can get rid of this stuff. well, not get rid of, but create animator controller, castle door. Let's go ahead and open that up. Go ahead and get this. Go to the model, castle door, right there. So it's going to have create state, empty. I'm going to call this the load state. Load. The reason I'm going to do that is because I want this to be the thing that loads whenever the level loads. And from there, we're going to have 4 different states. Right there. So this is going to be closed. Closed. This is going to be opening. Change its state to be opening. This is going to be open. And then, of course, last but not least, is closing, which is going to be right there. So, now we get a fun part. Move this stuff up. Move this stuff up over here because we don't use this anywhere. So now we're going to have make transition from here, 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 and a make transition from here. And all those wonderful make transition from here basically just means that we want to have our stuff set up in a nice, clean way. So there's our load function right next to entry, which means that's where this state starts. So it'll go to load. Load is going to have a variety of things. So we need to have a bool called is open. Have another bool called is closed. Have another bool called is closing, or is opening to keep with the conventions. And this is closing. Is closed should be the default. And then we're just going to say this on this transition, no fixed duration, no exit time, and instead it's going to be if is closed is set to be true. Do that. Here it's if I did that. If is open is set to be true, transition to open. No exit time, no fixed duration. We don't care about that. We just want it to instantly go. So from here, we have a couple of other transitions to make. One, no has exit time, no fixed duration. We just want to say if is opening is set to be true. Make this transition. So if I hit play, you'll see where I am, right there. Nice. So if I go back to this, it's going to be using exit time. Although I do need to make sure that this moves to get over here. Because if you don't have any sort of crossfade at the end, it'll actually snap back to what it was over here. So we'll save that. Go ahead and say if is closing is set to be true. I think this should be is opening. Okay, good. Making sure. Don't need to worry about exit time. Don't need to worry about fixed duration. We just want, bam, closed. And then, of course, this all can be fine as well, although I do need to move this. All right. Doing fine detailed work always makes me get quiet. Okay, so we got that all. So our transition logic is set up, but now we would actually have to apply our wonderful animation. Well, our animation's already on there, but we need to apply behaviors. So we're going to say reset animation variables. This is the stuff that I was doing yesterday. And I'll also show you a new thing that I have. So is open, is closed, is opening, is closed, or closing, and is closed is the only one that's going to get set to be true there. So weird that I can't copy that. So we're going to have to add reset animation variables, set this to be 4, is open, is closed, is open, set to be true, and then is closing, set to be false. Let's add our reset animation variables here. Is open, set that to be true, is closed, is open, and is closing. And one last time. Is open should be false, is closed should be false, is opening should be set to be true, and then is closing should be set to be true because is opening should be set to false there. So there's our 4 state machines, and they are setting the variables for the machine itself whenever those specific states are reached. That should keep an overflow of basically circular logic from firing. Excuse me. And now we're going to add a new thing, which is only necessary on closed and open, which is going to be set animation save state. And interesting. So normally, I have 2 doors that are the exact same door, and normally we would want to share that animator between them because they're the same model, they're doing the exact same animations, except this is actually going to be a little different. Never mind, I might have preemptively panicked there. So quarters open is going to be the data ID that I affect, and when it's closed, I want that value to be false. I'm going to add set animation save state. It is going to be quarters open, set its value to be true. And now in this load functionality, we're going to say load door animation state. Data ID is quarters open. An invariable ID is going to be is open. So what this script is doing now is saying that if I check my data, my save file stuff, and I see that quarters open has been set to true, then I want to set is open to be true. Now, this has to go both to is closed possibly or is open possibly, which means that we need a second one, which is load door animation state. It's going to be quarters open again. So this time it's going to be is closed, and I want to invert the value. So this is going to set is closed to be so it's going to check quarters open again. So let's say the door is closed. Quarters open will be false, which we don't want is closed to be set to false. What we want is is closed to be set to be the opposite of what the quarters open value returns. So if the door is closed, the data will say quarters open is false, which means that we want is closed to be true. So it's kind of this weird inverted situation. So we have this little checkbox here that's just going to say, so if it's false, make this true. Whereas you can see we have up at the top here for is open, we don't check that because we want it to be false if it is not true. So if it's false, it should be false, and if it's false, it should be true. So that's what that little checkbox says. Okay, so now that that's all set up, we should go to Castle Door. I'm going to cheat real quick. I'm just going to add one verb. It's just going to be open. If I can find it, open. Success effect is going to be text only. Output type is going to be default. Okay. So now, if I play, once I save, once I get over there, I should be able to open the door and actually have it. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, it's right there. I was going to say, like, it's actually there, right? Open our Inception door and music. It's good music. I really like this song. Bam! Look at that. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Go ahead and pause that or unpause that. We're also going to change the model here, castle door. So its material should now be castle door, which gives us this nice, pretty much invisible door treatment because the lighting is not very good in here, but you can sort of see it. We get at least a little bit of nice normal mapping. And of course, I want to actually go to substances, castle, throne room. Let's go to castle door. Let's go to the materials that are or the images that are generated. Set the anti-static filtering to 8. It just makes it so it doesn't look blurry when viewed from the side. And we're also going to change its resolution to be 1024. Hit apply. And nice. Get a very nice wood look to it. So, let's save that. And I almost forgot, but I actually want to also do the second one. That is going to be close. So let's save that. Let's play. Just going to pause real quick. Interesting. I wonder what it's doing here. Creating attributes. That's curious. I bet that's my door. I'll have to look at that. I think it's a small error with my door. Anyway, I just wanted to come up here to the audio mixer and then edit and play mode. Let me lower this real quick. So that way when the music kicks in, it's not going to be very loud. In fact, it's practically non-existent. So let me just go to 20 for that. That's better. Showing up. I don't know if it's off by one frame or if it's not terrible, but there is a noticeable spoof down there. So if I hit open, cool. If I hit tight close, yeah, got our doors opening and closing. Nice, 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 nice. See, and now you can see the nicer wood effects because the light is bouncing around a little bit better in here. Still a little reflective. Or is this one not wood? No. I don't think this one's wood. I think this one is using the old material. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely using the old material. Yeah, it's definitely using the old material. I was like, that's why it looks like crap. Yeah, right there. Change that to castle door. Yeah, there we go. I was gonna say, like, man, either I just couldn't tell or... So, nice. There's our door. It is nice and animating, and it's very functional. Although I do need to actually populate everything, but hey. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this into castle door. You can see our nice, beautiful model. It's great. It's perfect in every way. minimize that. And we can put it actually up here with that door. And then we'll keep the old door for now, but we'll probably get rid of it later. So, real quick, we might take a look to see if I can find out why it's doing this. So let's trace our path through here. So, save game session. Set attribute. The local attribute name cannot be empty. That's interesting. I think this is it trying to save. Oh, I probably should drag this over here. Sorry. So this is my session class, which basically takes care of saving and loading. And 10 to 1, we're probably going to come at this at some point and smash it apart to put it together in a much better way. Because right now it's doing XML, and we might end up porting it over to JSON, depending on how I feel. For the time being, we'll keep it as it is, though. So the problem is that this bool element section is... excuse me. It's throwing a null reference, which is a little problematic. So, what are we going to do? Probably nothing for right now. Because I don't think that it's... It could be any number of things, honestly, and I don't particularly think it would be interesting to go on a bug hunt for this right now. Because it looks like our path for it isn't really doing what we want. But I assume... I'm just going to check this real quick. I'm almost going to set this back to 0. Save this. Oh. Cool, I can expose parameters on this? What does that mean? Sorry, I got kind of sidetracked with that. I wonder if I can receive DAC volume. That's probably just what I want to do now. Okay. Well, in any case. Animation. Scripting. Sorry. Go back to models, collapse that. Gameplay. Data? No. Wait. Load. Door animation state. Let me see where all this is going. Here we go. So I'm guessing load animation save state. We go to the base. If data ID does not equal data ID none, which is a constant value, animator.setBool. So that's the animator. But session is doing this on save session. Okay. Oh, so that means that null reference is coming from. Okay. I bet it's coming from set animation save state. So if data ID does not equal data ID dot none. I'm going to debug this real quick. Debug.log. Door. And then plus data ID dot name. Ah, crap. Did the capital one. Data ID dot name. So I want to make sure that when it's setting these variables, that it's setting them with an actual value. It's not just an empty string. So let's see what happens. And when I play, I should see that spit out, basically. Once it compiles. pause. So door, quarters open, then door, thrown open. Okay. So I was wrong? What's the error? The attribute local name cannot be empty. Does that mean that string S is... hold on. Not decimal. Debug.log name plus S plus new line and then probably value plus, let's do that. Okay, so let's just see what it's trying to save. Because I think it's getting a empty value whenever it's trying to do something, so that's kind of weird. Let's go back, let's hit play again. Play. Yeah, right there. Curious. So something is setting to null. Okay. It could be that there's something in the scene that I have set up to it's set to false, whatever it is. It could just be that there's something in the scene that was using strings, and then maybe it's changed since then. I don't know. Honestly, very hard to tell. Do that. Curtains, painting, playground. That's not that. Spawn point. Nope. Not the door. Lights. Nope. Environment. Clouds. Nope. Props. I think it's a level or lever. Oh. Oh, right. That's... why did I do it that way? Table, curtains, castle, bed. Okay. It's something in here, but I don't know what it is, and it could be anything, honestly. So... let's move thrown door into doors. And move chest into props. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. It's not, I mean, it's not a game changer or a game breaker. It's just probably me being careless somewhere. So if I can't hunt it down on my own in the coming days, we'll take another crack at it next Thursday probably. Because I need to have a new demo by next Friday, which should be... Oh, before I leave, before we end, I do want to do this. So, hold on. Move the quarters door back into the props layer. Let's do a file, export selection, castle. We're going to see if that small fix I did to get rid of the hole actually worked. Castle door, intro, castle. Wrong thing. Copy to castle. And then if we rotate, yeah, we bad. Nice. Got our nice, beautiful substance textures. So nice. So nice. Well, okay, yeah, I think that'll be good for tonight. 'Cause it's Friday, it's time to relax. Sort of, not really though, but everyone needs a vacation, I suppose. So yeah, happy Halloween, everyone. I hope that you all have a great weekend.